Hey guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. This is Amanda Loves Perfume, where I talk about all things perfume. So today, I'm going to do a video that I've actually kind of been dreading doing. And now that I'm actually tackling it, it's not as bad as I thought, but this is my 10 perfumes for life. The reason I have put this off and put this off and put this off is I did not think I could choose 10 perfumes out of my collection for life. So just let me explain how I chose these. These are like if I had to choose right now, today, you've got to run in and grab 10 fragrances because, you know, whatever. You've got to get out of the house and grab these 10 fragrances. So these are fragrances that are currently in my collection, full bottles. And I chose these all for like different reasons. And I have one honorable mention, and the honorable mention that I have, and I'll go ahead and talk about that one first. It can't really be a perfume for life. These are also perfumes that I can continue to buy over and over and over again. So if I'm gonna only have 10 perfumes for life, I want to be able to repurchase them. So I had to think about that. This one is completely discontinued. They're not making it anymore. It is, I've bought every bottle that I have found in the last year or two. There was one on eBay and I recently got one on Mercari. But this is my all-time favorite perfume ever. This is Hello Girlfriend by Betsey Johnson. Yeah, the condensation is from my refrigerator, guys. Hopefully you're used to it by now. I know it's annoying to me, but I actually have two almost full bottles of this. So I would grab one of them and then I would just I mean, this is my 11th fragrance actually, so it's really not being fair. So I guess it's really kind of 11 fragrances for life, but the reason I wasn't counting this one is because I can't get it anymore. So once it's gone, it's gone. So I don't really consider that like a fragrance I would, you know, 10 for life or whatever. Okay, so this is kind of an honorable mention, but it's a big mention because it's my favorite fragrance of all time, and it always will be. Nothing will ever beat this fragrance. I don't know how, people have asked me to describe this fragrance. I don't know how, and I'll be honest with you guys, this is not listed on Fragrantica. There is nowhere to find the notes on this. I think this, she never listed the notes. This was a very like random fragrance that she released in her boutiques for a very small amount of time. So it was never really listed as like a fragrance. So I don't know the notes, you guys, and I don't know how to, except that it's a sweet, musky, kind of gritty, dry fragrance that smells like heaven. So that's that one. Okay, so I chose these all for different reasons. Okay, so I will tell you that I chose two that are kind of summery freshies that I would probably grab for the summertime or the really warm months. So the first one I chose, of course, because of, it's just, I will never get sick of this fragrance. That's one of the reasons I grabbed it for for this video. This is just, it never changes on me. It always smells the same. It always smells good. It works well with my body chemistry. I can wear it all summer, all spring, and even into the, you know, warm Indian summer area. So light blue would have to always be part of my collection. To me, this is another one that just smells like heaven. And I like the original EDT. I do not like the new one. A lot of people love it. In fact, most people love it. But like I was hearing Beauty Meow, I love her. She was saying that she likes the original EDT as well. And she said it lasts forever on her. This lasts forever on me. I have zero longevity problems with this. So this is definitely one I would keep for life if I had to grab. The next one, this one is a little bit more all year round, but still a fresh fragrance. So this is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would grab Eau Tendre if they were running out of their house and could only grab 10 fragrances. This is kind of like light blue in that this is just, it's always good. It always lasts a long time on me. It always smells good. It never turns weird. It never gives me a headache. I never get sick of it. These are also fragrances. I have a lot of fragrances in my collection that I love, but I tend to either get overwhelmed by them or I only can wear them every so often. These are fragrances I can wear all the time. Like Tendre, I could wear every day for the rest of my life and be just fine. This also, I chose the EDP. I have both. I have the EDT, but if I had to grab and run, I would definitely choose the EDP because you can wear it summer, fall, spring, winter, all the time. Tendre is just, it's an iconic fragrance, and it definitely made my 10 fragrances for life. Okay, so I'm gonna I have some wintry, and that's pretty much all my summary, except I'll do this one. So this one, the reason I chose this is because this fragrance is the most interesting fragrance I own. And it is the fragrance that, can you guys see that? It is so, you can't see it. It's called Untitled by Maison Margiela. He makes the replica line. This fragrance is just very, very special to me. The image that this fragrance brings up for me is that of youth. This smells like jasmine. It's jasmine incense and green notes, but it smells like jasmine, cigarettes, and grass to me. And it just evokes this feeling that I am a different person when I'm wearing this fragrance. I am a girl in New York City who lives in the nightlife, but she's very chic. She's very wealthy. But she's kind of grungy at the same time. This is like my 90s guilty pleasure, but it's not dated. It doesn't smell like the 90s, but it smells like my 90s. If that makes sense. This is just a great fragrance. I could never live without this fragrance, so this would have to go with me wherever I go. Okay, so the next couple I'll do are my kind of non-perfumey perfumes that I actually are kind of my ride or die, because as much as I love fragrances, as many fragrances as I have, as obsessed as I am, I do get overwhelmed quickly. I get headaches sometimes, so I kind of live and die by these non-perfumey kind of molecule fragrances. So the first one I chose that I would, oh my goodness, I would like be hanging on to my house trying to get this fragrance. This is Molecule 01. This is One Molecule. This is ISO E Super. Smells like sweet cedar shavings or sweet pencil shavings. It's very ethereal. It's very oh my gosh, it's magical. A lot of people describe this fragrance as magical. It is, it's a safe fragrance. This is my third bottle of this, and I rarely go through that many bottles of fragrance. It's kind of like the other ones. It's always the same. I can count on it. It does not give me a headache. I do not get sick of it. I can reapply this thing 6-7 times a day, even though you really don't need to. It lasts a long time. It will not get on my nerves. It will not get on anyone else's nerves, but people can smell it. That's the perfect fragrance to me, is one that is not, I mean, if you have a great fragrance that's really strong and you overspray it a little bit, you have ruined your day. You cannot really the ones that I've talked about right here, I mean, you're not really going to do that, especially something like this. In fact, Jeremy loves fragrance. I love him. He has a video where he sprays himself like 30 times with this. And he was like, I'm still fine. I don't, this is unisex. But yes, Molecule 1, absolutely. I will never, ever, ever be without this fragrance in my life. The next one, this, I didn't even have to think twice about this, Glossier You. This is kind of like the Untitled in that the uniqueness factor of this is just blows me away. This is kind of an iris and papery smell. I think they also say it can smell like wet cement. I don't know. This is a iconic fragrance. This was kind of the first fragrance that has ever smelled like this. There are a lot of dupes out there now. I have the Kaleidoscope by Bath & Body Works. It almost smells exactly the same. I just got Radiant Nectar. by Clean Reserve. It smells very similar to this, except that it has a sweet note of pear and a little bit of honey. But to me, this is the original. Now, I did a video on the Sweet Nectar saying I liked it better than this. I mean, the Radiant Nectar. The problem with the Radiant Nectar is it doesn't last a long time on me. And I actually purchased a full bottle online, and I'm going to return it because as the more I've used the travel spray, it just does not last on me. Now, Glossier You lasts on me. It's not going to last 12 hours, but you can smell this. See, I can't have a fragrance that lasts 30 minutes. This is another one. It's not going to get on your nerves. It's not going to get on anyone else's nerves, but people are going to smell it. It smells wonderful. Oh my gosh, you guys, Glossier You. Never. I mean, if they stopped making that fragrance, I don't know what I would do. I would lose my mind. Okay, so the third one that I could not live without is my Juliette Has A Gun, not a perfume. You guys see that? This is Ambrox. I think it's supposed to mimic Ambrox. It's Siloxane or something like that. Oh my gosh. This is another magical molecule fragrance that is very good for people that are sensitive. So I wear this if I'm having a day I don't feel well or I have a headache, or I mean, I've used so much of this because a lot of times, guys, I just can't do it, especially if it's early in the morning. I cannot spray some of the other ones here. I cannot spray something super strong. So a lot of times I default to this. So this for a while, this was actually kind of like my signature. I wore this exclusively for like months, and I never do that. I will tell you guys the best combination in the world are these two together. Oh my gosh. It just takes me to another world. I feel like I'm literally riding a unicorn. It is just gorgeous. So that's the next one. Okay. So I wanted to have one in here that was strong for those days that I want a strong fragrance, and this thing is this is the perfect Alien. So I have the regular Alien and I have Alien Eau Extraordinaire. I love them both. I would not grab them in a fire. I would grab this one because this one has longevity that is unbelievable, but it's a little bit of a softer, prettier, more tolerable version of Alien. This to me is like, this should have just, I don't know if I want to say it, but like this should have just been Alien. Like this is better than regular Alien. And the reason I grabbed this is because this is still so strong and lasts so long. So on those days you are really wanting to make an impression, I would use this. This would be sort of my like luxurious, sexy, nighttime fragrance. So I wanted to grab one that had some, I wouldn't call it beast mode, but it's a nice fragrance and it smells gorgeous. That's Alieno Sublime. I love the bottle. Okay, so this, I would say probably is one of my favorite. It's in my top 10, probably my top 5. This is Amethyst by Lalique. There's just something about this fragrance. This is a berry fragrance. Deep berries, a little green, I want to say brambles. When I smell this, I don't even know what brambles are, but like not weeds, but like stuff on vines and then berries, blackcurrant, musk. I don't know, guys. There's something about this fragrance. It is just absolutely, I have 2 bottles of this. This is just one of those fragrances I could never live without. It doesn't smell anything like Eau Tendre, Chanson Tendre, but it's that same where it's like, it's the same every day. It's never going to change. It lasts a really long time on me. It's pleasant. You know, it's that kind of in between a beast mode fragrance and a light fragrance. It's like a perfect middle of the road, very pleasing. It makes me feel good. It lifts my spirits. This is, yes. Amethyst Lalique. Okay. So I wanted to choose one Houbigant fragrance. Houbigant is a house that I've been wearing since I was in high school. They are really a cut above. I mean, when you talk about really expensive, niche, well-made fragrances, I mean, people talk a lot about like Raja Dove and Clive Christian, and I mean, I feel like this is on the level of that. Now, the reason I chose this is the Quelques Fleurs, but this is the flanker Jardin Secret. So the original one, I absolutely love. It's not dated, it's vintage, so I'm not always in the mood for that. The Orangers on Floors, which I love, by Ubigon, I own that one too, really only works in the summer. So I chose one that's all year round. This is, for those of you who like Prada Infusions d'Iris, the Iris, this has a lot of iris and sandalwood. This smells very similar to the Prada Iris, which I absolutely love and I own. This one though, it's better than the Prada Iris. It's more well-rounded. It lasts longer. It has better projection. But it's just, if you guys like iris and sandalwood and kind of a dry floral, oh my goodness, this is all year round. And again, this is one that's the same. I mean, you spray this, it has really good longevity. It has really good sillage, but it's not gonna offend anybody, if that makes any sense. It's a soft fragrance, but it's really strong and lasts a very long time. So I will always have to have this in my collection. These are more pricey. You can get them on FragranceNet. I don't know about this one. This one is more of a newer release, but they sell these like at higher end stores like Neiman's and Saks Fifth Avenue. But you guys really need to try this. This is very much a kind of this new wave of fragrances that everybody is loving. This is just a lesser known one, but it's made very well. So, and then I picked two for winter, just because I ran out of choices. The rest of mine, I typically like all year fragrances, so that's why I only have two winter ones. I don't like, I struggle with really deep, dark, strong fragrances. So they just, at the end of the day, I feel like I am being strangled. So I picked two for winter that I absolutely love. So this is Vanilla Woods by Seven Virtues. I've talked about this. Oh my goodness, this is just a straight up vanilla. It's not a cupcake vanilla. It's a sophisticated vanilla, but it's very uncomplicated. I don't smell any woods in this at all, you guys. This is just straight up vanilla, but it is a very good quality vanilla. And the reason I chose this is I've worn this quite a, I mean, that for me, that's a lot. I wore this a lot last winter. This lasts a very long time. It's a clean fragrance. It does not aggravate my headaches. It is, but it wears beautifully. It lasts a long time. It projects. People can smell it. It's a very comforting vanilla. Oh my goodness, yeah. I could wear this every single day in the winter and be just fine. The last one I chose, and I chose this for the same reason that I chose the Alien. This is when I want a strong fragrance that I know people are going to be able to smell, special occasions, and I chose Flowerbomb. I just never get tired of Flowerbomb. It's just that classic fragrance. I mean, it's definitely not anything niche or super interesting or different. I mean, it's very like, oh, you're wearing perfume. But there's something about wearing Flowerbomb in the winter that is just makes me feel like I'm just wearing a fuzzy blanket. But it's like kind of sexy at the same time. It's very pleasing, and I just have to have Flowerbomb. Now, I don't wear Flowerbomb all the time because it is a little stronger. It's a little bit more in your face, and sometimes I just can't pull that off. You know, and I'm getting older. I'm almost 45. So sometimes I don't want everybody, you know, smelling me. But if I'm going somewhere like maybe outdoors or a party or something really special, I would wear either Flowerbomb or the Alieno Sublime. These are like, to me, kind of special occasion fragrances. I would say the Amethyst is probably the next sort of like really This is nice. You could wear this at night. For sure, you could wear this to a party or a nighttime wedding or something like that, but you can also wear it during the day. That's why this is such a perfect fragrance. Okay, so guys, those are my 10, 11 fragrances for life. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to know what your 10 fragrances are, or what even your top 3 fragrances for life are. I love watching these videos, because when I watch these videos, I know that these fragrances are special to these people and that they are good fragrances, because somebody's not going to say, you know, I would only pick these for the rest of my life if they weren't really outstanding fragrances. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you.